I've heard people say things like, oh, UK people are stingy, UK people don't like to help, UK people are always complaining of bills, and bills. Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Adora, and if you're just coming across this channel for the first time, thank you very much for stopping by. Now, I have a very short message, and this message goes to my fellow Africans, especially Nigerians, especially my fellow Nigerians, because most of the complaints I've heard and the stories I've heard on this particular issue comes directly from them, not from any other Africans. I've not heard, it might be happening to other people from other countries, but I don't know. But the ones I've heard in most cases comes from Nigerians. Now, you must understand the fact that coming to a country, a strange country or a different country other than yours, your home country, in most cases, it's usually a struggle. You just don't uproot yourself from home and say you're going to the UK or you're going to the US or Canada or whatever, but for the purpose of this story, I'll be using the UK. So you don't just uproot yourself and say you're going to the UK and then with the whole expectation of having it all rosy from the very start, especially when you didn't even plan for it, like when you didn't plan for your trip. Now, when I'm talking about planning, most people think that when you are relocating, the only plan you put in place is, oh, you just go get your visa, you buy your ticket, and then you move. There's a lot that goes to relocation. Sometimes it's always good to ask, like if there's something you really don't understand or you think you might struggle with before you travel, it's always good to ask people that live there. If you have one or two friends that live in the UK, ask them, how do I go about getting an accommodation? Do I get it from home while I'm still back home? Do I sort out my accommodation plans from home? Or should I wait till I get to the UK, then I fix that out? Or even if I have to wait till I get to the UK and I fix that out, where am I going to stay? Do you intend to stay in a hotel while you are fixing your permanent accommodation and all that? And then you also have to consider, where exactly am I? I believe that even before you relocate, before you move from Nigeria to the UK, you should have had a particular place that you intend to settle down. Because the story I heard recently, this lady just moved all the way from Nigeria, came to the UK, landed at the airport, London, and yeah, she had a friend that came to welcome her. And after like about a week with her friend was like, so what's next? What's your plan? What do you intend to do? Where do you know, what's the next move now? And she was like, I was just thinking that I would just stay with you until maybe like 6 months, and then until I get myself together. And the friend was like, sorry, did you just say 6 months? Like 6 months? How? Yes, you know, when you hear things like this, you will now be like, can't you just host your friend? It's not just 6 months. What will it take from you? Just 6 months. You know, these are things that we do. We happily do back home, freely, without stress. You can accommodate somebody in your house for years. It doesn't matter. It's not so much of a trouble, you know, to you. But here, accommodating someone for 6 months is a big deal. And not everybody will do that for you. Not even your family in most cases. This is one of the places where I have discovered that it's like everyone to himself. You know, the UK is just like a jungle. It's the survival of the fittest. You have to be able to plan out your own life. You have to be able to sort out your own life. You have to be able to arrange your own future without anybody coming to tell you, you know, coming to like try to help you. So if you're always thinking that, oh, fine, when I get to the UK, I have someone that is going to put me through all the process. The person is going to teach me how to do this, going to teach me how to do that. The person is going to take me places. The person is going to show me everywhere. And yes, of course, you might be very lucky. You might have a very close friend or family member that will want to help you, you know, adapt properly into the system before they leave you to yourself and you begin to get used to the whole thing. There are people you come across, be it friends or be it family members, who will accommodate you when you just come in. And while they're accommodating you, they're taking you places, they're showing you different parts of the city or different parts of the country, depending on where you decide you want to now pitch your tent and live permanently. They are showing you, they're showing you the ropes of the country, telling you how the transport system moves, telling you where the bus stops are in case you need to move around, showing you how to buy your bus passes, showing you where the church is, showing you where the markets are, showing you where the shopping centers are in case you need to, buy one or two things. They are putting you into the system gradually. These are the kind of people that, they go the extra mile to want to help. But there are still some kind of people you come across and they don't just have time for that. The highest they might do for you is just tell you, okay, take your phone, Google, you want to go to the shops, right? Google it, nearest shop around here. You want to go to the GP, you want to register, they'll tell you where the GP is. You go and do your registration yourself. You want to open a bank account, they show you where the nearest banks are. You go and, they just don't, not because they are wicked, not because they don't want to really help you, but in most cases, it's because they are very busy. Now, when I say busy, you might not really still understand what I mean by they are busy, because you would say, after all, back home, are we not always busy? Don't we still have busy people? Yes, we do have busy people back home. But, when you are in a strange land, the eagerness to want to survive is there. This is a place where nobody helps you. This is a place where nobody has time for you. This is a place where even very close family members are always so busy because everybody is trying to stand. Everybody is trying to survive. This is not a place where you just go and knock on someone's door and say, bros, I'm broke today. I beg, just borrow me 200 pounds or just borrow me 500 pounds. The bros will also tell you that, he has bills to pay. He has expenses that he's keeping money for. So it's not just that easy like that. That's why you see a lot of people working overtime, because things are actually getting harder. Mind you, right now, though it's a worldwide situation, the prices of everything is going up. Everything is going up. Like, if you go to the shop today, what you will buy today at a certain price, by the time you go there next week, it has actually maybe doubled in price. So everything is going up. The only thing that is not going up is the wages, the salary. It's just like, you are still where you are in terms of your payments, in terms of your wages, in terms of finance. It's not growing, it's not multiplying. But in terms of expenditure, everything is catapulting. So you find yourself trying to work extra hours, trying to overwork yourself in most cases, trying to pick up different shifts, even when your body is not allowing you to, or even when your body is disagreeing with you. But for the fact you have expenses, you have bills to be paid, you have family to look after, you will just get up from your bed and go to work. So now when you see all this kind of people telling you, they don't have time because they are very busy, they need to work, you just think, what is this one feeling like? Why is she forming? Or why is he forming? He does not want to assist me. They don't want to create time for me. So it's not because they're wicked, but it's because they're trying to make ends meet. If these same people have financial difficulties tomorrow and they come to you and they ask for money, or they ask you to loan them some money, are you going to give them? The answer is probably no. So that is why everyone is trying to put their self together, is trying to, just trying to get on their feet. It's, like I said, it's a jungle. It's like everyone is fighting to survive. Their bills keep coming every day. And in most cases, you can't even avoid it. You cannot really say, I'm not going to pay certain bills. I'm not going to top up my gas. I'm not going to pay for the water. I'm not going to pay electricity, because if you don't pay, you are the one that will suffer it. You are the one that will be in the dark. You are the one that will be without heating, especially in the winter time. So sometimes, that's why whenever we try to explain the struggles, you do not necessarily want to even know. You don't even want to understand. You don't even want to know where the person is coming from. Which brings me to another point. You see, one of the reasons why most people do not like to accommodate people in their homes is because their way of life and your way of life may not fit, may not merge, may not it may not kind of relate to each other. So most times they just want to leave you where you are, like have their friendship with you or their relationship with you from afar. They believe that by so doing, the respect is there, the understanding is there. They just want you to be where you are while they keep their relationship with you or their friendship instead of accommodating you. Now, I have actually seen people who say, oh, why is it that whenever people, especially people in the UK, accommodate you for a while, they're always complaining of, oh, switch off the light, turn off the light, oh please, oh, his electricity is waiting, turn off the hot water, oh, the heater, put it off, we only put it on at night and things like that. Yeah, you know, sometimes when people are saying these things, it actually sounds funny, you know, it actually sounds like oh, that is where the idea of these UK people are stingy, they don't like to spend. But you will not understand when people tell you that they're actually struggling. Some people are struggling to make a living. Some people are struggling to survive. Like I've always said this severally, do not judge people just by what they say or even by their actions. Not everybody who lives abroad is actually enjoying or has a soft life. Honestly speaking, if not for the security issues we have back home, you know, things like that, a lot of people back home are actually doing better than a lot of people in the UK. They are doing a lot better than people who live abroad, believe it or not. Some people here, if you see their way of life, you will feel for them. You will see some people living like, I don't want to use, you know, some very insultive words, but the way they live is, their way of living alone is insulting to humankind. You go to some homes and you see a family of 6 all squashed up in one room, highest 2 rooms. And in most cases, these people, it's not because they don't like the luxury of life, or they don't like to have space, or they don't want, you know, a big apartment or whatever, but it is what they can afford. Because if they do more than themselves, they are going to pay for it. And who wants to keep paying for something he or she did not budget for or did not plan for all the days of her life just because you want to please people? So that is one of the reasons why when you call some people, say, oh, can you accommodate me? Can I stay in your house for a day or two? They tell you no. And in your mind, the first thing that comes to you, hey, they are wicked, they don't want to help, is because their own living pattern is even a problem to them. They don't even have space for themselves, let alone bring in one person. And then you may not understand the idea of all this switch off the lights, switch on the this, turn off the water, turn off the heating and all that. It's because people are trying to preserve their electricity. They're trying to preserve the money they have. They're trying to manage it. They're trying to maximize every little penny they spend with care. So when you now come to such people's houses, and because definitely you are not used to the weather, you might want to turn on the heating a whole day to keep you warm, they will definitely not find that funny with you. Or you are in the sitting room, the lights in the bedroom is on when there is nobody there, you are not there. Or you are in the bedroom, the lights in the toilet is on when you are not there. You know, these are little things that can actually cause problems between friends, between families, between people in relationships, because our way of life back home is very much different from what we see here. Is very much different from what we experience here. Is very much in opposite direction from what we do here. Here, a lot of people are just managing their lives, but you will not know. Another reason why most people don't like to accommodate people who just come from home or really want to give them space is because some people, you know, back home, they might be doing well back home. Maybe they had very good jobs. Maybe they were working in oil companies, they were working in the banking sector, they were working in engineering companies and all that. Then they find themselves in the UK and they discover that they can't do certain jobs that they wanted to do, or the kind of jobs they were opportune to do back home. And then they find themselves here doing some menial jobs or doing some, you know, just taking any kind of job just to make ends meet and just to start life at least. Then they are okay with what they are doing because they understand that fine, they just have to survive. And then you come along from home and you actually expected to see them working in a bank or one big firm. These people now actually think, no, I don't want anybody to come and see me finish, or this person used to see me as a boss back home, and then if he comes now and sees that, okay, I work as a cleaner, or I work in the kitchen, or I work in something they are not actually proud of, they don't want you to see them in that condition, because it's not as if the job itself is bad, but because that is not what they were known to be doing back home. Maybe they had better opportunities back home, and that is what you from home knew them as, or knew them to be doing back home, and all of a sudden you see that they are doing something very, very much different. So the shame that comes with that massive change is one of the reasons why they want to stay away from you. They just want to build themselves. They just want to stay on their own. They don't want shame and disgrace from you, because you might not understand. Especially when you're coming for the first time, you might just think, you're just going into a rosy land where you just come in immediately with your maybe you think you have the connections. Once you get into the UK, you just get a job at the embassy, or you get a job in one big airline, or you whatever. You will not understand until you enter fully, and reality will now dawn on you that no, you might have to start with maybe working in a factory, or you might take up a job as a cleaner somewhere, or you might just have to start small. Gradually you build yourself. So this is another reason why people like to stay away from each other. So that's why I actually think that before you relocate into the UK, definitely you might not know how things work. You will definitely not know how it works. But once you relocate, try as much as possible to understand what people are going through. Try as much as possible not to be a burden on people. I understand, yes, you will want people, or you want someone to put you through from time to time, to assist you, just to show you things around, or how to start your life in a strange land. You understand all that. But while they're doing this for you, show appreciation. You will not know how far that appreciation will go until you have entered the system properly, and then you are now seeing what everybody is seeing. Then you will now understand why you should have appreciated the person who did it to you, or who did it for you. So that's the moral of this story. When you see people who live abroad, do not be too fast to condemn them, or be too fast to judge them, or to conclude on their matter. Oh, the UK people are always stingy, UK people are always this, they're always that, because you don't know exactly what the person is struggling with. You don't know exactly what the person is trying to combat just to be successful. I believe nobody just left home to the UK or to the US, to America, just for sightseeing alone and decided to remain there. A lot of people actually came with expectations of a better life, of greener pastures. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching, and please do subscribe to my channel. Bye.